Good morning, everybody. Good morning, good morning, good morning. We made it to Friday. Barely. Kevin B said, Yo, Brooks. Kevin, we were hoping you would come on the show yesterday for summer. Where you been? You old stranger. Hello, Carol. Hello, Diva. Hi, Dre. Izzy made it in. Kaleida Hope. Just me's here. If I missed anybody, I apologize. Tell you what, this morning, we almost didn't have a show. I don't know what was going on, but I could see the lights on my mouse. On my mouse. Thank you for all you do, Rexy. But I didn't have a cursor. So I get out the old HP laptop that works like it was made from vacuum parts from 1986. It couldn't find a microphone. So I opened this one back up, and lo and behold, I had a cursor. Stranger things have happened. But we have made it to Friday. I can't thank you guys enough for hanging in there with me. I know it's been a stressful week. I know it has been. Hey, Life Chaos. Jeannie made it in. Yesterday was a very emotional day about summer. We did have a few laughs, which we needed in the members live. That was great. That was great. Saw some things we didn't really want to see, but that's okay. We can hang in there together. We can hang in there together. But today, woo, trigger warning for sure. Trigger warning, Alexee Trevizo. We spoke about this a couple of weeks ago in a week in review. Thank you, Jack. Yes, please hit that thumbs up. And we all had a lot of different opinions about this situation. Well, more's coming out. Before I get to the comments from the last show, let me ask you guys something. Do you think her mother and her boyfriend had any idea she was pregnant? Because looking at these pictures, she looks pretty darn pregnant to me. I always give the benefit of the doubt, or I try to, and I told you guys a story about when I was in high school, and there was a girl, she was in gymnastics, she played basketball, and then she didn't come to school for a while, and we found out she had a baby. And I'm like, hell, nobody even knew. She looks pregnant here to me. I'm no OBGYN, but she looks pregnant to me. Look at this picture. What does she look like there? Hello, Blackwing Paranormal. We've missed you. Angel's back. Sarah Woods here. What does this look like? This is in front of the whole school. Not one teacher, counselor, coach. No. No one's going to see this. Like Kevin B said, that's not a beer gut. We're not talking about Candace. She is definitely pregnant. All right, so as you know, her mother took her to the hospital for back pain. She said it was nothing for her to have back pain, nothing for her to have hip pain. We discussed that in the members live on Monday. Before I get to all of that in the comments, we have some new names in here, and we have some faces that have come back to say hi again. Let's take a minute to tell everyone howdy. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And again, thank you for everything sticking around through the week, because I know it's been a stressful week. Let's get to the comments, because you guys had a lot to say about this. Aaron Hicks, who, by the way, hasn't been around a while. I'm going to have to send an email out to old Aaron, the old stranger, because we haven't seen him in a while. Got to check on our friends that are, I'm going to start calling the U.S. Marshals. Says, thank you for this. I heard about this and it's heartbreaking. She went back to her bed in the hospital like nothing. Unbelievable. Betty's Beauty said, I have endless questions. When my daughter was a teen, I knew every month if she'd had her period. Knew what was going on with her. We had endless discussions. I'm not blaming mom just yet. I'm just curious how she missed all the clues. As for this kid, I need a shrink to explain this to me. As we know, after she went to the hospital for lower back pain and hip problems, she went to the bathroom, she had the baby, and she put that little baby boy into the trash can. He died by asphyxiation, they said. He died by asphyxiation. So I go back to Betty's comment. How did the mom not know? You can't ignore this. This is your teenage daughter. We know how fertile young people are. You can cough on them and they get pregnant. Know what I mean? We're all mad here, said, in my opinion, this is intentional murder. She could have given him up and dealt with the consequences later. She said, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness is right. So to get us caught up, I'm going to go through the backstory. It's very sad. It really is.
Bathroom. Police in Artesia, New Mexico released this body cam of the suspect, 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo, being confronted about the child's body being found.
We discovered a dead baby in the bathroom. Oh my gosh. I'm sorry. It came out of me and I didn't know what to do.
Lexi, I told you about this. I just asked you, baby, to tell me the truth.
It was not crying or nothing.
Authorities say Trevizo denied being pregnant when she arrived at the emergency room with back pain, but medical staff determined she was pregnant. They say she went to the bathroom for 20 minutes and wouldn't open the door. When she finally emerged, staff claimed the bathroom was covered in blood. A custodian was called in to clean it up and discovered the body while taking out the trash.
So when I picked it up, I realized that it was like a little heavier than they would be with just toilet paper and a trash bag.
Trevizo's mother seemed to be shocked by the whole thing.
Like, how big is the baby?
It's full term.
What? 9 months?
Nothing was crying.
Lexi, have you watched the news of the girls, that what they do to their babies and what they go to jail?
An autopsy performed on the baby boy determined he was breathing before he was put in a trash bag and deprived of oxygen, which caused his death, according to the report. Alexee Trevizo is charged with first-degree murder, intentional abuse of a child resulting in death, and tampering with evidence. Her attorney told a local news station that he has serious problems with the charge of first-degree murder, and he will tenaciously defend his client against it.
Oh, yes, he is. Yes, he is. Yes, he is defending it. Her attorney is no joke. 9 months. If what I read was correct, the baby was 7 pounds, 2 ounces. According to Alexee, when she's talking to her mother, it wasn't crying. Well, when it is not crying, you're at the hospital, you go and you get the staff. You go and get the staff. You know, I'm trying to get something to load. I apologize. My day got all thrown off. Okay, so we know the backstory. She has been arrested. I'm not sure if she's out on bond or not. Maybe somebody in here knows. Jen Bug should be coming in a minute because she's really covering this case. This is her attorney. Let's look at this.
Defense attorney of the Artesia teen who police say gave birth in a hospital bathroom and threw the baby in the trash where he died. Her attorney says there's a lot more to the story. Here's News 13's Annalisa Pardo.
I think it's pretty outrageous, actually.
That's how high-profile attorney Gary Mitchell describes the charge against his client.
High profile. They're spending a lot of money on this attorney. Now, spoiler alert, he's going to countersue the hospital for medical malpractice. Thank you, Julia. Julia said she's out. She's at home. No ankle monitor.
19-year-old Alexee Trevizo, who is currently behind bars, charged with first-degree murder.
She's in great distress because she's in a jail and never been there before and didn't do anything to deserve being there. I don't care what the state of New Mexico may allege.
According to police, Trevizo went to an Artesia hospital in January for severe back pain and denied being pregnant. But criminal documents state lab work showed she was pregnant. Police say she then had a baby in a hospital bathroom. An employee cleaning the bathroom later found the newborn boy dead, tied up in a plastic bag in a trash can, hidden underneath other items. Medical investigators listed the cause of death as entrapment, meaning the child was trapped in an enclosed space without oxygen, and listed it as a homicide.
She's at the only facility where she can get help. And then this happens. I have serious problems with that. I have serious problems with the hospital care. I have serious problems with the records we're now getting out of that hospital because I don't think it's necessarily correct and honest.
Trevizo's attorney claims there's more to the story.
I want to address this comment by Julia. Julia, welcome. You guys, don't be an old stranger. We're live every morning at 9 a.m. Central Time. Julia said the bar for malpractice is very high. This doesn't stand a chance. I agree. The only thing is, I was reading about this attorney, and he has successfully sued malpractice many times. We'll see what happens. We'll see how it shakes out.
They did some lab work, but they gave the medication before and gave it anyway. And that's powerful painkillers.
Mitchell describes Trevizo as a good student involved in cheer and choir, with no history of getting in trouble and already committed to New Mexico State University to continue her education.
And I have serious problems with the charge in this case, which is first-degree murder. And you can bet your life we're going to defend this tenaciously.
The state has filed a motion to keep Trevizo behind bars until trial. Mitchell argues she should be released, saying she's never fled after the incident and has no criminal history.
She just lost a son. She just lost a child. Well, I mean, come on, there's got to be some common human decency here.
Annalisa Pardo, KRQE, News 13.
He said, we're going to tenaciously defend this. All right, now we do know the case of Skylar Richardson. She was acquitted by the jury. There's been another recent case where she was given 15 years. She'll probably only serve 5. That's what's happening. I don't get it. This is a human being. This is a baby that had every reason to be able to survive. This is crazy. We already had back in the fall Leilani, who used an object to beat her son Quentin. By the way, we're going to be doing a show about Quentin on Monday. Put him in the dumpster. Had another teen, had the baby's alive, put him in the dumpster. Had another show not too long ago about baby India. The woman was cheating on her husband, has the baby in the woods, leaves the baby in the woods. Now this, the baby in the trash can. Woo, woo. All right, I want to show you this channel because this lady's doing really good work. She has a little over 1,000 subscribers. I hope to get her more. And she's put together the body cam from what was going on. Now, I showed this on the members live, and I'm going to put a link in here if you guys want to check out her other content. Extra said babies are optional. That seems like that's what they're being taught. It's a crazy thing. I don't get this world. It used to not be an option. It used to not be an option. All right, so check this out. I want to give her some props for putting all this together. Hello, RJ. How are you, hun? Now, the main thing here is I want you to watch the response of her mother. I'm really not trying to make her mother out to be the bad guy. You guys be the judge. I want you to really watch how her mother responds. The boyfriend. Just watch the whole waiting room. Good morning, Jinbug.
Good morning.
We have Jinbug in the house.
I have a couple minutes and then go back to work, but I had to hop on. Good morning, everybody. I can't see chat, but good morning.
Tell me what you're thinking about this whole case. Obviously, the victim is the baby that was put in the trash can. Do you see Alexee as a victim at all?
No.
Okay.
No. I think she had to know she was pregnant, and the mom knew, and the boyfriend definitely knew. Just the way the mom acts, and then she's like, we talked about this, like, what did you talk about? It's like she wasn't even surprised, like, that she was pregnant. But then the no reaction to, like, the nurses said, like, both of them never asked about the baby. Like, after they were told what happened, they never asked, like, you know what I mean? How's my grandson? How's my baby? Is everything okay? You know what I mean? She just asked how full term, how big it was, or full term it was, or whatever. She never asked how the baby actually was. There's no way the pictures, there's no way. I mean, granted, I was a young mom. I got pregnant when I was 16, and my mom didn't know till I was about 6 months pregnant. So, I mean, she could have hid it, and I try to give her, I don't know, I try to give her the benefit of the doubt, maybe. I don't think she's a victim, but I try to give her the benefit of the doubt of maybe, like, she was too scared to tell her mom, because I know I was, but you're at the hospital, you give birth, literally all she had to do was call the nurses in there and tell them, tell them what's going on and give the baby. That's not a reason for that.
It seems to me that the mom was trying to do something slick.
Yeah.
She could not have not known she was pregnant. I'm looking at these pictures. She's visibly pregnant. She came to the hospital and says, we're here for back pain. And they're like, you think she might be pregnant? And she goes to the bathroom by herself. She's in active labor. Who knows how she'd been in labor? Has the baby. I don't know how she cut the cord. Did she use her teeth? Did she bring scissors with her? I don't know. And she put it in the trash can.
Yeah, and there's another video out there where the mom is, like, going up to the door and, like, knocking, checking on her, calling her, something like that. I'm sorry. If I was a mom, I would have went in there, like, she has to be, like, labor is painful. So she didn't hear anything when she came to the door, or, so I don't know. But she is out on bail from what I read. She's out on bail. That picture is from prom. She got to go to prom. She doesn't have to, from what I read, she doesn't have to wear an ankle monitor. She can go to Texas to see her family.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think she has a curfew from like 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. You know what I mean? 7 to 7. I think that's what I read. But yeah, she's out on bond, which is ridiculous. I understand she's not a child though. She's an adult. She's 19.
And
Like even that's,
that's
yeah,
what police keep reminding the mom of. She's of age. She's of age. Sassafras Kath says we should not be so judgmental. It does happen. We're just trying to understand here, my friend. We're trying to understand how nobody could see this. How could
yeah,
her mother not see this? How could no one not see this? And you take her to the hospital for back pain, and she puts a baby in the trash can. A baby.
yeah.
Who would look at a beautiful little chubby cheek baby and say because it wasn't breathing, you just put it in the trash can? She knew.
She knew.
Now
She
let's
knew. And
look at this from the waiting room. Go ahead, Jen Bug. I'm sorry.
no, you're fine. I agree with, like, I'm not, maybe, I mean, I am judging her. I'm just saying, like, I was 16. I hid it, but like I knew I was pregnant is what you know what I mean? I knew I was pregnant. I wasn't in denial. I knew I was pregnant. I just didn't tell my parent, my mom. And even at 16, I still, after my mom found out, I took responsibility for my child, for my actions. You don't do it. You don't do that. You don't just throw a baby away. I'm sorry. There's not an excuse for it. There's really not.
No. And I can tell you're getting really emotional. I get emotional about it too, because I'm not shaming teen pregnancy. I was 18 when I had my first son.
Yeah.
Never could I think that I would take him. He'll be 30 years old in a couple of weeks. And put him in the trash.
Yeah.
And see, someday this is going to dawn on her.
Yeah.
It's going to dawn on her. Let's look at the waiting room. Hold on.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
So they're taking her right now.
Okay.
I haven't spoke to her at all.
Okay. So what's gonna go on? Like what's gonna happen with her? Like.
So she's gonna get treatment before we even talk to her because she needs to be stabilized. So that's why she didn't let it out.
Okay.
Once she gets stabilized, we'll try and talk to her. The baby's gonna go up north for autopsy. More likely, it'll be done within the next day.
Is she gonna get taken after she's released? How?
Get what?
Are y'all gonna take her to custody or anything like that?
That depends on what the DA finds. We have to wait for the autopsy to come back to see what happened. Because right now, with how everything happened, we're gonna do an investigation, get more information from the OMI, Office of Medical Investigator up north. And with that, we present that to DA, see what the DA wants to do with charges, if any at all.
Okay. So they already took her out.
No, she's getting life flight. She's right now being set up to go to the.
What happens?
What do you mean?
When the DA makes a decision on it?
It should be pretty soon. They make a decision. Because with the age of the decedent, they usually expedite autopsy reports and such. With normal people that pass naturally at home, takes a couple months for us to get reports back. Stuff like this, we'll get it back pretty soon.
Okay.
So we don't know. That's why he'll be going up north.
Seems to me that the stepdad is emotional. He said, was it stillborn? He said, we don't know. That's why it's going to be going up north. They took the baby to Albuquerque. They did an autopsy, and they said he died by asphyxiation. So he was, you can make out of that what you want. That was the most recent article that I saw. Go ahead, Jen Bug.
There's just, where's the, there's no emotion for her mother. This is her grandchild. It's nothing. She's getting in trouble for, I don't know, you know what I mean? Curfew or something to that. It's not a big deal. where, like, I would be crying, screaming, like, you know what I mean? And I'm sorry, if that was my daughter and they told me what happened, I would have been like, you take her now. Like, no. There's just I'm sorry. Maybe I have a different opinion because I come from a different, because I, you know what I mean? I see it different. There's just not an excuse. I don't care. She's 19. She's an adult. At 16, I knew right from wrong. I would never do this to my child.
No way.
Never.
No way.
Never. It.
I even think to put a baby in the trash can.
I get it. It's hard. You know what I mean? Maybe she was like, oh my, you know what I mean? It's hard when you're at young age. It's hard. But if you can't do it, she was literally in the hospital. She could have just, you know, told them to come in, let them know why she was there. She was pregnant, and handed over the baby. No questions asked.
She could have banged on that door in the bathroom.
Hit the emergency. They have emergency, you know what I mean, buttons in there.
They have emergency buttons in there. There's nothing wrong with a patient going to the bathroom by themselves.
Yes.
It's all the time. I mean, after surgery and stuff like that, you need help getting up and getting down. But people go to the bathroom by themselves. She could have banged on that door and said, I just had a baby. I just had a baby. Come get the baby. She jumped back in the bed as if nothing happened.
And lied about it.
And lied continually. So when the housekeeper found the baby in the trash bag, then her mom's like, we talked about this, Lexi. Now let's watch this.
Has y'all's information been taken yet?
He took my driver's license. He took her driver's license.
Okay.
My phone number. My phone number. Yeah.
So, even though she's of age, if she's not available to be contacted, can we put you down as next of kin for all my? Okay. And you'd be grandmother?
I'm mom.
So you'd be you'd be the decedent's grandmother.
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
So that's her boyfriend.
All right. So she points. She said, so is she. She's the grandma too. She said, that's her boyfriend. So you're telling me they all piled into the hospital for back pain? I have a feeling her water broke at home.
Exactly.
We know it didn't break in the bed. And if she was having pain like that, the water was already done. So she points at the girl in the orange hoodie and says, so is she. She's a grandma too.
Mr. Boyfriend, do you have a driver's license? No.
He said, Mr. Boyfriend. Sorry. Mr. Boyfriend.
And is the address on you current on the driver's license? Because determining what the OMI does, if she's still in medical, and they do release the infant back, it'll have to be released somebody. That'll be up to OMI who they determine next of kin is. Maybe the parents, but maybe you. Okay, so that's where we're gonna get everyone's information. I'm just gonna run your name through the special on radio. Okay, so I'm just gonna call them. Hey, Kids Gonzalez, 715. Are you on APD? For the AGH call, can you run 1 OLN out of New Mexico? It's 517-158-500. Should be Devin Fierro. Yes. No, it's okay. No, is it Rick? Okay, so coming to Carlsbad, so like 45 minutes?
Connie Branch, you are so right. Connie Branch said there are pull cords in every bathroom in the hospital, no excuses. So when she saw a human head coming out of her, she knew she needed help. Instead, she squeezed him out and put him in the trash can. Very good point, Connie. Now, I would like to say that the mom is in shock. I truly see upset from the boyfriend's mom. He looks like he's in a daze. The stepdad seems visibly upset. But wait till you see later down the road what the mom is really concerned about.
Yeah, all she's concerned about is her daughter, if her daughter's going to go to jail.
She was also concerned about the embarrassment. She wanted to know why people knew.
Yeah, there's a lot to it more, like I guess the school too, like they're not allowed to talk about it from what I read. So, yeah.
Yeah, this is getting crazier and crazier. In no regard for a baby put in a trash can. It's all about Alexee, Alexee, Alexee. What about the baby?
All right. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Oh, you as well. Thank you.
As soon as they're done with it, like if everything's okay, will I be able to bring her home with me?
Yes.
I will?
Yes.
Okay.
I don't know where she'll be going.
With me?
No.
To my house. I mean, like.
When she gets lighted.
Okay.
I don't know which one.
They told me Lovelace Regional. Yeah.
Lovelace Regional?
Yes. Yeah.
That's my card.
Okay.
Keep a hold of me.
Okay.
So if she stays at Lovelace and then she gets released, she can go back to you.
Okay, boyfriend looks like a deer. Mr. Boyfriend looks like a deer in headlights. How far is Lovelace from Artesia, from where they're at?
I have no idea. I think they're in New Mexico, right?
Sassafras, I don't quite understand what's going on here, hun. We're talking about a baby. Sassafras Calf says, let's try to remember we're all human. While we stand on our soapboxes criticizing others, it doesn't make us any better. We don't kill babies. We don't kill babies.
We can have an opinion.
We don't put babies in trash cans.
Yeah.
Go back to the bed and act like nothing went on. No, we're not those type of people. None of us would do anything like that. And I don't think you would do it either. And I don't think you would excuse it if it was in your family. Go ahead.
We can have an opinion. That's what we're here for. We're discussing it. But I'm sorry. I can judge if I want to. I'm not living in a soapbox. I lived it. I was 16. This girl's 19. I was afraid to tell my mom. I was afraid of raising a kid by myself. You know what I mean? But I still did it. There's not an excuse. You don't do it. And if I didn't, I would have gave my child to somebody that could have raised them. But there's no excuse to just get rid of your baby and kill it. The baby was alive. That baby was alive. She knew. And then she sat in the bed and lied about it. She lied about it after the fact. She could have just been honest. Like Connie said, pull the cord, let somebody know. Go in the hospital and, tell them you're pregnant and you're going to go into labor and hand the baby right over. There's no excuse. None. I don't care.
No. And I don't understand the detachment with some of these women between their own children and themselves, and why anybody wants to excuse, and we see it in other cases. They're excusing child abuse. And in this, people are trying to excuse the murder of this baby. I think
Yeah.
there's more to this story, and I think a lot more is going to come out. I understand it's a hot topic, but we're going to get through it. Okay, boyfriend looks like a deer in headlights there.
Y'all.
Okay.
And I'll be in touch with you to try and set up an interview with her.
Okay.
Would y'all mind talking to me later when y'all are okay?
Yeah, I was with her. I know she talked to him for a while on the phone, and then she came to me, so I've been with her the rest of the time.
Today? Oh, so what did she come here for that she told you?
She told me she had back pain.
That's it?
That's it.
Okay. Has she been having back pain before?
Yeah, pain for her and her hips is no. I mean, she was born with like her. I don't know. It's like crooked.
Her spine?
Okay, because my ex-husband, he hit me. He beat me whenever I was pregnant with her. So she was early. So she had some problems with her hips. Like I always had to take her to chiropractor to get adjusted because she couldn't use, like, she was always getting constipated. Like she had to get lined up, whatever. So, I mean, I've been taking her to chiropractor because I always thought, well, this time, I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know. I just thought, like she said, I have back pain more. My hips are hurting me. I think I need to go to the chiropractor. I said, okay, let's go tomorrow. But she was like in really a lot of pain, and
When did it start?
Like the pain?
Yes.
Yesterday she said it was really bad, that her hips were hurting and her back. And then last night we're on the phone together and she said her hips were hurting bad. I asked her if anything else was hurting, and she said just everything.
It's safe to say that this teenage couple was still knocking boots. This was a picture of her in November of 2022. The baby was born in January of 2023. So for her mother, who understands the female anatomy, to sit there and say, oh, well, my ex-husband beat me when I was pregnant with her. This isn't about you, Grandma. This isn't about you. And so for her, it was just like one story after another. So for her hips to hurt and her back to hurt is not a big deal. Well, it was a big deal. You took her to the hospital. You also knew she was pregnant.
Yeah, it's just like excuse after excuse after excuse.
Mhm.
Like she obviously is her mother, so she knows what, you know what I mean, what it is like to be in labor, or you know what I mean.
She's making it all about her. It's
Mhm.
narcissistic behavior, and narcissistic mothers
Oh
are
yeah.
toxic to their families.
Yes, they are. And that's why I try to give Alexia like the benefit like of a, you know what I mean? Try to see it in her way. Maybe she was scared to tell her mom. Maybe because that's her mom is the way she is, you know what I mean? That I can excuse her maybe not telling her mom, but not doing what she did to her baby.
Hello, Chica. Chica's back. Margaret said that she was buying her pads. This is a really, really good point.
Yep.
Okay. We know that mom is doing the grocery shopping around there, so she's buying the sanitary napkins. She's buying the tampons. Well, where were they going? Or was there a stockpile of them? And I want to know how she kept the labor so quiet in that bathroom.
And she went to sleep.
But she's a cheerleader too, so she's big in cheers. They have cheer competition. She works out. I mean,
And she's been active this whole
yeah,
time?
she's been active this whole time
And who does she live with?
with me.
So
Her
she's
parents are with us.
Oh.
Yeah, because she's in school. She's a senior. So,
And how long have y'all been together?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? Okay. So not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father? Okay. It's,
no, we get it. We get
sometimes it happens. So with everything that comes with that, gets a little shaky when it's newborn, stuff like that. But with like death certificates, stuff like that, interpreting his sons, if you choose to use them, we'll be the ones to help you get those. Other than that, because that's all really you'd need, and they can help you with the afterlife care. Okay. Do y'all have any questions for me right now? Okay. You have my number. You can. That is my work phone. If you want to text me or call me, I have my email on there as well. Okay. Sergeant and I got your information right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me give you my card too, so you can give me a call. All right. Just because I want to make sure everyone stays updated. Okay.
Thank you.
Like I said, I don't know. There will be charges that will be up to the district attorney's office, if any are even done. Okay.
Okay.
It's too early in the game to know right now.
Okay.
So we're just gonna do the initial investigation. I was on the phone with our dispatch, so all mine will be here in 45 minutes. It's one of their field agents,
Okay.
and they're the ones. So in the state of New Mexico, we're not allowed to touch anybody that's passed.
Okay.
They're called a decedent. They're the only ones allowed to actually handle somebody. So we wait for them to even do anything. So hospitals allowed to do it because they do care, life-saving efforts. Whenever life-saving efforts cease, no one's allowed to touch them. So we have to wait for them to show up before we even start that side of stuff. Okay.
Okay.
So she's getting life flighted out. We'll talk to her later.
Okay.
That's if she even wants to talk to us. If she chooses to, because she still has her constitutional rights.
Should I get a lawyer for her? Should I?
You can. That's your choice. I can't tell you what to do. That's something that y'all as a family have to talk about. Okay.
Well, why don't we want to talk to her over in Roswell?
Yes.
But that door right here, they won't let her.
Yeah, they wouldn't let us.
Yeah.
She should be gone by now.
Okay.
So that's with the helicopters coming in. They want nobody near it, so that way you can't mess with anything. Because if any of their vitals go off, they'll stop it, which could be an issue for if they need care immediately. So that's why whenever someone gets life flighted, they just cut off every contact with the family.
Okay.
Because they're making sure she's getting set up to get transported out.
Okay.
So that's why they tell you leave.
Yeah.
It seems very harsh, but it's because with the flight nurse, the flight doctor, they have to make sure everything stays constant.
Okay.
So she should be gone by now because she was already getting prepped whenever I came out to y'all.
Okay.
So with that, like I said, she'll be leaving. We'll stay here with the decedent and go from there. Okay.
Okay.
So once she gets to Lovelace, it's up to Lovelace if they'll let you back there.
Okay.
Because she is of age. So with COVID and how everything goes, it just depends. Okay.
Okay.
So if before you make the drive, call, see if that's available,
Okay.
and just let them know what's going on, and we'll just let your family and that it's possible.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
We'll be here if you need anything. Yeah, well, I'll be over there, and I'll
Okay.
just be waiting. All right.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right, folks.
All right, so he's having a WTF moment. And yes, 3 months later, her and boyfriend went to the prom together. They're grinning ear to ear. At this time, everybody knew that she put the baby in the trash can. She got arrested, I believe, in May. In May, she got arrested. She's out on bond. I heard that she has no ankle monitor. Go ahead, Jen.
Yep. No ankle monitor. She can travel to see her family, I think, in Texas. I think she has a curfew, but if I did why would you be at prom smiling when you just dumped your baby in a trash can? Like, that would be the last thing I would be thinking about. And why would her mom allow her? Like, if she doesn't want anybody to talk about it, everybody knows about it. So why would you let her go to prom?
Let me ask all of you in here, and I'm asking you too, Jinbug. Would you allow your daughter or your son to go to prom, celebrate, get him a suit, get him a tux, get him a dress, get him shoes, give him money for Olive Garden, knowing that they have just lost a baby by her hands.
Absolutely not. No.
Because
Mm-mm.
that is very tasteless.
Yes. Like nothing happened. Like that's how they're acting, like nothing happened. Like her son or her grandchild just didn't, that didn't happen.
No, this baby did not matter. This baby
Yeah.
did not matter. Now, if the baby was alive, grandma had been like, I'm going to watch the baby. You kids go have fun. Just don't have another baby.
Right.
We're
Exactly.
Why now?
Or you just don't go to the prom. You keep your baby, don't go to the prom. You make sacrifices. That's what it is to be a mother. That I didn't go to prom. You know what I mean? But I had my child and that was enough for me.
Well, and don't think that these prom stories are not going to be discussed in front of a jury, because it's going to be part of the motive. She did not want a baby. She did not want a baby. She wanted to continue high school, party with her friends, swing it with the boyfriend, go to the prom, graduate, all that stuff. She didn't want to be bothered with a baby. That's what they're going to say. That's what the DA is going to say.
Yeah, she wanted to just get rid of her baby and go back to normal life. Like she got to go back to school. She got to graduate. Like nothing. Go to prom. Like it never happened, basically.
I'm going to let you address this, Jinbug. Have they had a memorial service, or did they even name the baby? I've heard no on both accounts, but there's a lot of info out there.
Yeah, I've heard nothing about a memorial service. There is a video out there where they had like a body cam when they came to like arrest her, where they show like a little memorial and it has like the baby, from what people are saying, like Alex is the name. But you have to watch there's a body cam out there and it has like a little, I think I saw a candle and then a sign that said Alex. And it's when they arrest her and she's going to get some pads and then came back out. You can see it, but I haven't heard anything about a memorial service. I know there's been stuff out there. From what I saw, I don't know if it's true or not. That's what she named the baby, Alex. It's just from what I saw posted, but that's not 100%. I don't know, but I haven't heard anything about a memorial service. No.
Well, we have a lot of stuff to get through, so everybody buckle up, because this part right here, I'm going to say it right now. Be warned, this is the housekeeper that found the little baby boy.
My phone. It's okay.
That's
fine. Yeah.
Okay.
So, can you tell me everything that happened on January 27th?
Okay.
Like your involvement from
the time I was called?
Yeah, to the end.
Okay, I was called and to go clean the patient's bathroom in ER around, maybe 2 o'clock or so. I think it was the time. I'm not too sure. So when I went in there, it was a bloody massacre mess.
Could you describe it if possible?
Yeah, there was blood everywhere. There was blood on the floor, on the wall.
Do you remember which wall?
The one behind the toilet, and then the one on the side right here. There's the one where the toilet sits, back of that.
Yeah.
And then on the side.
Where the call button is?
Yeah.
Okay.
And on the floor, everywhere. I mean,
was it like this is the bathroom, here's the toilet and the sink, then here's the door. So was it just like this, or?
Actually, it was all over the place, all over the floor, because even when I was going into the bathroom, there was blood on the coming out of the bathroom on the floor.
Okay.
So it was everywhere.
Okay.
So
there's blood coming out of the bathroom? Do you
know
how far it went? Okay.
I think they were the person that was in there, her footsteps. And she was coming out, because I was like, oh my gosh, it's even out here.
How far out did you have to clean to get it?
From the outside?
Yes.
Right by around the water fountain.
Where's the water fountain at?
My God. There was blood seeping out of the bathroom. It's on the wall. Sounds to me like she didn't have an easy delivery. Hello, Mrs. O. Mrs. O, can you hear us?
Hello, Brooks. How are you? Hello, chat. Matt, how you doing?
Hello. How are you?
Yes, I can. How are you?
Good, thank you.
It's been a crazy week. Now tell me, what do you think about this?
Oh my gosh, I went down the rabbit hole yesterday on this case. This it is crazy, and I'm sorry. She's an adult. That was a safe haven hospital. She could have asked the nurses for help, and they would have kept it anonymously, and she could have gone out of that hospital without any problem, anybody knowing what happened.
What a great point. It's a safe haven hospital, like almost every hospital. She could have handed the baby over. Nobody would have known. But murder, they're going to hear about.
Oh, my friend.
Hello, Kevin B. How's it going? I bet you're heated up about this.
How are you, my
Oh,
friend?
yes. Oh, yes.
Huh?
What do you think about this? What do you think about this, Kevin?
Here's my opinion, okay? And I always give mine, and and it's my opinion, so here it is. I see so many similarities of this kind of crap every day with these kids. Why is it that the parents never know what was going on? Just like Harmony's grandma. This lady's doing the same bullshit as Harmony's grandma, right? I didn't know. We didn't know. How could this girl go to school? Okay, she's a kid. You know damn good and well she told some of her friends at school she's pregnant. And I guarantee you, because she's a kid, I guarantee you the Popo's questioning the shit out of the kids at school, and the mom knew. I'll go to my grave with that one, because there's no way you can hide a pregnancy. You can't. Don't your breasts get bigger?
The boyfriend noticed that.
Oh, hell yeah, he did. And look at her stomach. And you know, Brooks, as well as I do and everybody else, that kids talk. Okay, she's 19. She's not smart yet. Really. As far as an adult of trying to cover up something, they talk to other kids. I guarantee you this family knew that girl was pregnant. And another thing, if you watch the mom real closely, and this is my opinions, that watch behavior speaks volumes. Watch the mom's face. She is more concerned about the police than she is the dead baby or her daughter.
Yep.
Boom.
Wait till we get to when she goes to the police station. I'm not going to do a spoiler because there's a lot to go through.
Yep.
Can you imagine?
She's
having
only
to go get that baby out of the trash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only concerned about the embarrassment of the town. She's upset about HIPAA. HIPAA does not cover murder.
And you made a great point. She is a narcissist. I guarantee you. Guaranteed.
And do you guys feel bad? Do you guys feel bad for the housekeeper? Because I feel horrible for this housekeeper.
Yeah, could you imagine just going to clean up? And I can't imagine that. No. Ugh.
Well, where did your water break, Brooks?
Oh.
Where did this girl's water break?
That must have been horrible.
It must have
her water had a break at home, or wherever she was before she went into hospital. Because then her back pain started.
But her mom knew then she was pregnant when there's what did she think her daughter did? Pee on the bed?
Her mom knew this whole time. I guarantee it. And the boyfriend. I'm sorry, the boyfriend knew. The first person I told was my son's dad. Like, you're gonna tell.
Her boyfriend said her boy her boyfriend said that the pain started the day before.
Yep. He
Yeah.
knew.
I guarantee you that whole damn family knew she was pregnant.
Yeah. Why would his mom and all them just go to the hospital for back pain?
Look at that picture right there, the cheerleading. I mean, come on, that's not a beer gut. She doesn't, she's not a 50-year-old man with a big stomach. It's so obvious she's pregnant. I mean, this is ridiculous.
Skinny legs, skinny arms.
Yeah.
But she's got a baby bump. That's exactly what it is. Let's listen to the housekeeper for a minute. Again, trigger warning, because it's horrible what this woman had to go through.
Oh.
Could you imagine? You're just doing your job. You're at the hospital, so you see blood and poop and pee all the time, but you see a baby.
I'd sue this family.
You would, Kevin. I know you would.
Right there.
Oh, right next to the restroom?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, if it's on the left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it went out to the water fountain. Did you have to clean like the hall or anything at all?
I mopped up that area right there.
Okay.
And was it footprints?
Yeah, I was.
Was it footprints in the hall?
Yeah, when, I guess she stepped on it, and then walked out with it, and then their socks were wet.
Okay.
But it wasn't all the way to her room or nothing like that. It was just right by the water fountain.
So just footprints in the hall to water fountain?
Yeah.
Okay. And what else happened?
Okay, then I went in there, and then I started cleaning. I started first thing I did was I started mopping, because we can't be walking around on that blood.
Okay.
So I started mopping, and then I started after that I started wiping everything down. Then I went to the toilet, and I cleaned the toilet, and then I got everything. I had to do everything like twice because it was bad. I wiped down the walls and everything. And after I did all that, I usually throw my trash first, but for some reason that night I had to clean the floor up and everything else. And when I went to go through the trash, I felt that when I picked up the trash and I looked in it, there was trash in it, but I knew that it didn't feel like when I picked it up, it was some weight. So I thought it was the trash bags, because we put the trash bags on the bottom.
Mm-hmm.
This poor woman. Kevin, your device is not connected. I sent you a text. Go ahead, Mrs. O. Extra AF said.
Oh, what I was gonna say is I feel awful for this woman. She already had a trauma in 2018, and then finding this baby in the bathroom. I don't know. Oh, I feel awful for her. My prayers go out to her.
Kevin needs the link. It says your devices aren't connected, Kevin.
Hey Brooks, you have there is like a delay and a back conversation.
Oh, that's okay. Everybody, some people have a 7-second lag. Some people it's almost a minute. Like Kevin and I have always had a lag.
Hey Brooks, I'm gonna hop down. I gotta go back to work, and I'm emotional. I'm emotional right now.
Okay,
but
okay, thanks.
Love you guys. But I just want to say, and it's just my opinion, but there literally is no excuse for it. I have no sympathy, and I'm sorry if that offends anybody, but I just don't. At 16, I knew right from wrong. She's 19. She knew right from wrong, and she literally could have just gave the baby to the hospital and no questions asked. So I just don't feel sorry for her.
Well, you didn't offend me, so I think I like your honesty.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Have a good day. Bye, Brooks. Talk to you later.
Exactly.
Love you.
Let's do a group hug for Jinbug. She's very
Exactly.
emotional about
And I
this.
appreciate your honesty too. Thank you. Bye.
And let's give her a round of applause. Good job, Jinbug. And she's right. She knew right from wrong. let's do a poll. Does anyone think that Alexee honestly didn't know that putting the baby in the trash can and tying that bag around his head wasn't wrong?
It's
It's murder.
2023. There is
It's
Google,
murder.
there is TikTok, there is YouTube. She's 19. I'm sorry, there is no excuse. No.
No.
And I think about the relationship with her mom. What kind of relationship do they have that she didn't feel comfortable telling her mom, one, that she was
Boom.
having sex, two, that she was pregnant. And I mean, I'm sorry. No. No. When your kids, I mean, from 15, early on, you start talking to your kids about their bodies, their sexuality, what's going on, the consequences. And kids nowadays, they think they are adults, and then when they get in trouble, and then oh, I'm a kid. No, baby, no. You are an adult, and and actions have consequences, and you have to pay for it. If it would have been my kid, I would, from the hospital, I would say, no, you take her and you take her where she needs to be, because she did this. No. And I'm not going to be, no, she's not going home with me. Am I safe? I don't know. If she's capable of this, what else is capable of?
And my assumption is her mom knew. My assumption is the boyfriend
Oh,
knew. My assumption
boyfriend knew,
brother
mom knew, her friends knew, her friends knew. She talked to her friends. Tell me that the boyfriend knew. The boyfriend knew she was having pains from the day before. Her mom didn't know she was having pain from the day before, but the boyfriend did.
You think my mother-in-law would show up to the ER because I'm having back pains? Nope. But she
Nope.
would if I'm having back pains and I'm about to have her grandbaby.
At 2 o'clock in the morning?
Mr.
I don't
Boyfriend,
think so.
Mr. Boyfriend, his mama knew too.
Exactly.
And so I started getting the trash out, and then when I did that, I seen that there was a baby in there, and that's when I freaked out, and I called Lori and HT, or the nurses up front, and because there was a baby in the trash.
That
And
lady
they,
will
when I
never be able
looked
to
at it,
see that.
the baby was wrapped up like in a, like at the bottom of the trash can. And
Okay. This is when she goes into describing the baby in the trash can. We lost Kevin again. I'll put the link back up. It's a live show, my friends. Bear with me. Could you just imagine? She thought it was she thought it was heavier because they keep rolls of trash bags in the bottom of the trash can. Then she freaks out because she knows it's a baby.
with trash on top of it, in a trash bag.
And so how did you see it?
Okay, and he was in a trash bag. He wasn't just in the trash with toilet paper over him. He was in a trash bag. That's a big difference.
Yeah, she took the time to put the baby in the trash bag, to take all the garbage out, put the baby in the trash bag, put garbage, put another liner on the trash bag, and put more trash on top of it, so nobody would see the baby or anything. So she knew what she was doing.
This is insane.
Like as soon as you picked it up?
No, after I picked up the trash bag that was on top,
Okay,
where
so
they were throwing the trash at, when I picked that up to change it, that's when I noticed that there was, when I seen the baby.
Okay, so you lifted the liner and then saw
Yeah.
baby. Okay. And I know this bugs you, but can you like describe the baby?
Yeah, he was about that big.
Oh my gosh. Need some Z's said a tied trash bag and put trash on top. So sick. What do you think, Kevin? We lost Mrs. O. Like I said, it's a live show. Bear with me. Are you there, Kevin? It says devices not connected. Well, when Kevin gets connected, he'll be back up and he tell me what he thinks. Did you catch that comment, Mrs. O? A tied trash bag and then trash on top. But
Yes,
she says it.
yes, I did.
But she says it wasn't breathing. No.
He had
This,
hair.
she knew what she was doing.
He was like purplish, but still not like pink. You know, I don't know how to describe it. You know, he wasn't bruised or nothing like that, and he was like purple, pink skin type color.
Okay.
How was the bag? How was the bag placed, or what?
It looks like she wrapped it around like that, and then wrapped it like under him, and then put him on the bottom of it.
Okay. And was the baby moving at all?
No.
Okay. Did you touch him at all?
No.
Okay. And so you said you called HT and Lori?
Yes.
Okay. What happened? What did you see after that? What did you do?
Okay. When all that happened, I moved the trash can. I told him that there was a baby in the trash.
I called and said there's a baby in the trash. Sailor said he was full term and alive. Kevin, did you fall down the stairs?
No, ma'am. But you know what? It's been so long that I've been on live that I forgot about background noise and all that. So I'm just walking around doing my daily shit. I'm sorry about that. I apologize.
You're okay.
No, this is ridiculous. No, seriously. How this is so, these people are in such denial. And you know what? When there's such denial, there's a secret somewhere. There is some secrets going on here. I'll tell you that right now. I said it before about Don Wells, and I'll tell you what, I am so convinced there's secrets going on. That's my opinion.
Big time. This baby was full term.
I agree with you, Kevin.
Mm-hmm. He had hair.
I could barely talk at that moment. And so then they took over, and I left. I mean, I went up to the nurse's station. And then they called the doctor and everything and all that stuff.
After that, did you have any contact with the baby?
No.
Okay. And then what happened after that? After you went to the nurse's station?
Oh, I went over there with the baby.
What did you do?
I just stood there and I was freaking out, and everybody was, asking me what's going on and whatever. And I stood. I didn't go back over there where they were at.
Okay. And then was that whenever I showed up, or?
Yeah, that was about the time you showed up.
So you were just at the nurse station until I showed up and talked to you?
Yeah, well, after that, I went back to EVS, to the department I work at.
Okay.
I went over there and trying to get away from that for a moment. And I went there for a little while, and then they called me and told me that you were coming in, for me to go wait in the ER.
Okay.
And that's what I did.
Okay. And other than this, is there anything that I asked you that I haven't asked you that you think I should know?
No, I think it's all.
Think that's it? Okay.
Yeah, if I can remember something, I'll write it down. That way I won't forget.
All right, and Great Trainer, Cynthia has my contact information, so if you need to call me, and there's his card as well, you can let us know, okay?
Okay.
Are you doing anything to make sure you're okay?
No, I'm not doing anything right now. I thought maybe I could do it on my own, but there's some days that are harder than others. So when I feel that way, I feel, I just went through a trauma in 2018. My boyfriend in Carlsbad blew his brains out in front of me. So he committed suicide.
Oh.
So I was traumatized over that for a long time.
She's setting up a lawsuit.
She's going through a lot of trauma. Let me tell you what. Her boyfriend in Carlsbad.
Yep.
Essed himself in front of her. Then she finds a baby in the trash can.
I'm telling you right now, this lady is good. I'd blister their asses for this. I don't believe in suing people. I don't. But in this case, that lady will never be able to unsee this ever. That's sad. All because of some stupid ass hiding secrets.
She's like,
That's my opinion.
he's about this big.
Yeah.
Hair. He was wrapped up in a trash can, face
Man.
down with trash on top of him.
Hey, Brooks, doesn't this remind you of Harmony's grandma, Grandmeth?
In total denial? Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Denial is strong. Denial is
Yep.
strong.
Long time, and then now this, so it's kind of. Sometimes I have a problem with it.
Nothing wrong with asking for help. Okay.
And I don't know if you're a churchgoer or, you know, I don't know what faith you are, but sometimes that helps as well.
Yeah, in fact, that's what helped me with my boyfriend. The churches.
Right.
That's what I turned to.
So you might.
Because I was looking for answers, and there's no way I could ever find out why he did it, because he's not here to tell me.
Right. Well, I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for your loss.
Thank you.
I really am.
So,
but please try to get somebody to talk to, because it'll eat away.
Good
at you,
luck.
I promise you. And just get some sort of closure for it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, like talking to friends, family,
Mhm.
like going to the church and just talk to them. Don't even talk to them about what happened. Just say like, hey, I have some stuff. Can I just talk to you about anything?
Right.
You know, if you're Catholic, just go to the priest and say, I need to talk. I don't need you to help me. I just need you to listen and let me get it off my chest about what trauma I went through.
Okay.
Because, you know, just getting it out in the open, because
Right.
I know you're mad. You're mad that your boyfriend did what he did. You're mad that he's gone. He's mad. You're mad.
Mm-hmm.
So getting that out, saying I'm mad, and talking to a priest or a pastor, whoever,
Right.
will help you. Trust me, because I've been through that. I lost my son in 20, and I've done lots of that.
Right. And you know, and I was, because I didn't know why he did it. He didn't ever show any signs or anything like that. So me, I'll try to look for answers, and I'm never going to find them because he's not here to tell me. So that's what my main problem was. I needed to know, and that was making me go crazy.
Well, there are like survivor groups here in town and just around that you can talk to.
Yeah.
People like in your shoes that somebody's left them behind that they don't know.
Right.
But it's good to have people that you can relate to and talk to that won't judge you.
Yeah, for sure.
So I would like try and find them that, you know, you work at the hospital. Maybe they have stuff that they can help you with.
Yeah, they have behavioral health here.
Right.
And well, when all that happened, I had to see a psychiatrist and a therapy, and the therapist put me on all kinds of medication. I was like a walking zombie, you know, and I didn't want to feel that way anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I needed to come out and do something for myself because he was the main provider. I had to come out and work because, I mean, how was I going to survive?
Right.
So that's when I came here and I applied, and they gave me this job that I have now. If it wasn't for them, I don't know what I would be now. I mean, the hospital has really helped me out.
Good.
And so they offered me, when I applied, I told my situation, you know, I mean, I'm like, my therapist didn't think it was a very good idea for me to work here, but I'm going to give it a chance because she said that I could probably have a relapse if I were to see like a lot of blood and a lot of, you know, that, let me give me that chance and see if I can. So I've been here 4 years now.
Good.
So it helped me out a lot, but yeah, there's all, they have a lot of help here, like with behavioral health and everything. But I just wanted to get off of that medication, and I did it myself because I didn't want to feel that way no more.
Right.
But I had to face reality.
Nothing wrong with that.
So have we asked you? Have we not asked you anything that we should ask you, or do you have anything that?
No, I think I've asked me
Okay.
everything. And like I said, if I remember something, I'll write it down.
Yeah, just let us know.
And let you know and call you and tell you about it.
Yeah, nothing wrong with
Okay.
that. And just like I said, talk to people, talk to friends, talk to family. If you go to church, talk to your priest.
Okay.
All right, it'll help.
Okay. Yeah, and then with this, you know, I just talk things off for me. So.
Right.
Yeah, just shake it off, take a deep breath. One day at a time, okay?
Okay. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Horrible that she had to witness that.
Brooks, I'm sorry, but is that her lawyers? The girl's lawyers?
No, those are the detectives.
Oh, okay. All right. I'm sorry. I wasn't. up on this case, but you know, how many times have we seen this? The
Horrible.
denial, the
Well-
denial that you can't admit your kids effed up. You
You can't
you
admit
know,
you can't. We see a lot when they can't admit they're on drugs. You know,
yeah,
nothing's going to happen. They don't do anything. But
no,
there's no way they could deny this.
and
There's
I,
no
I
way.
and I guarantee you, a jury is going to say the same damn thing. There is no way you can hide this. No way.
No way.
Impossible.
We have new friends coming in. And
Uh-oh.
gifted some memberships. Carol gifted some memberships. Turn your gifts on and you'll get a membership, Kevin. And we have new names in here. It's a new case. Well, kind of new because we've been discussing it on the members' lives. We have new people piling in. Take a minute and let's please tell everyone hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We have new names in here, and we're going to continue following this case because I want to see, you know how I am, beating that dead horse. I want to see the end. I want to see how much time she really gets or if she gets any time at all. Now, this is the triage nurse. Same detective.
Oh, okay. But you're good at whipping a dead horse.
You better believe it. That's my husband. That's my husband.
Yep.
He's like, for things from 10 years ago I did.
Yep.
Do you remember what treatment room you moved her to?
Possibly 2. I think it might have been room 2.
Okay. Anything helps you remember that?
No, just looking at, kind of thinking of the layout of the ER.
Gotcha. So you triaged her from, did you bring her in from the waiting room?
Yeah.
Okay, so you brought her in from the waiting room, took her in the treatment room, and then you triaged her, you just got her chief complaint, did vitals.
Chief complaint, vitals. I believe the doc came in and kind of did a quick assessment in the triage room before we moved her back to a treatment room.
I bet it was quick.
Yeah, then from there we gave her some pain medication. She started feeling a little better, and then she said she needed to go have a bowel movement, and that's kind of when the whole thing happened.
So what did you do after that? So when she went to do the bowel movement, where were you at?
Initially, I was at the nurse's station, and then at some point I went and kind of checked on her, knocked on the door, seeing if she needed anything. She denied. She said she didn't need anything.
Did you hear anything?
I didn't hear anything.
Flush the toilet flush?
Yes. After a while, I started hearing. So I probably checked on her 2 to 3 times. I'm not exactly sure. And then I just kept hearing paper towel dispenser and flushing and like the water running. And I knocked again. Did she need anything? Denied anything. And then eventually it got to a point where I said, "You need to come out." And I asked the clerk to get the key to unlock the door because obviously she locked the door to go to the restroom. And whenever we finally had the key to unlock it, she opened it and just kind of walked out.
Did she say anything at that point?
She didn't say anything. She was just looking kind of straight past me and went back to the room.
Did you look into the restroom?
I did.
Yeah, what did you see?
Went into the restroom and I saw a large amount of blood.
Where?
And it was on the floor. It appeared to, like she had tried to wipe it up in places. It was kind of on the back wall behind the commode, the toilet. And so I said, "You okay? What happened?" And she said, "I'm on my period," what she said. And she walked out. And then I went in, because at this point we had already received the positive pregnancy lab test.
When was that?
I couldn't tell you the exact time, but I know prior to that, we got a positive pregnancy test on her.
Okay, prior to the bowel movement.
So she lied and said, "I'm on my period," and they already knew she was pregnant. So it's lie after lie after lie.
Hell, she would have needed a box of tampons to stop that blood. That's ridiculous to even try to say this. I mean, what kind of. Well, it shows you that. I don't know, man. This is so dysfunctional. Oh my gosh. Unbelievable. How?
So all
How?
these stories about nobody checked on her in the bathroom
Yeah.
are not true. She was checked on by nurses. Finally, they were like, "Get the key. We're going to get her out of there."
Yeah, and I bet it was a quick assessment by the doctor. He probably walked in and goes, instantly pregnant. I mean, how? I'm not a doctor, and I'd walk in the room and know that this girl's pregnant. Let me tell you something. As far as I'm concerned, I don't know how, the law is nowadays, how people can wiggle in and out of crap like this. But as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, it's murder. Period. That little baby probably hit the floor and the blood's on the wall because it's spattered from the floor, and then throw it in the trash can. What should you do? Rip the umbilical cord off? This is terrible. I mean, thanks, Brooks. Now I'll be haunted with this one.
I know. And the autopsy they did in Albuquerque proves that the baby was alive when he was born.
Oh my gosh.
Welcome back. Oh, you were disconnected for a minute.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I thought I was backstage. My question is, why did the hospital give her medication, like pain medication, before making sure that she wasn't pregnant? That's my question right there for the hospital. That's the only thing that I
Great
question the
point.
hospital. They gave her the lawyer, the defense lawyer said that they gave her morphine and tramadol, I think it was, for the back pain. But why did they give her that before making sure she wasn't pregnant? Because that girl looked pregnant. I'm sorry. And I bet they did, uh, they checked her before. So what they gave her that medication? That's my only question with the hospital, and that's the only problem that I have with the hospital. The rest is all
What?
on the parents and on her and on the parents, because she was the one who did this. The mom is just her reaction and all the stuff she did after that. But all of this is on her. All of it, because she's an adult. And whether she wasn't an adult or not, it's 2023. Information is at your hands. I'm sure she has a phone. I'm sure she goes on the internet. I'm sure she watches TV. I'm sure there is Teen Mom. There is all of that stuff. And there's health class in school. There is no excuse for this. None. I have no sympathy for her whatsoever.
And another thing, the parents are lucky that she's 19 years old, right? That's how old she is? I hope I'm right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's
Okay.
19.
The parents are awful lucky that she wasn't 17 because I think they would be looking at some arrest time. Seriously.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I'm blaming the mom right now for not nipping this in the bud. It falls on the mom. That girl is 19, yeah. She's still a damn kid. Come on. 19-year-olds don't. Anyway, the
See,
mom should have done something about this. I criticize the mom wholeheartedly. I do.
Well,
I
and
do criticize the mom too.
the
But
boyfriend
the
knew.
problem with these 18, 19-year-olds now, they want to behave like adults. But when consequence time come, they want to reverse to a child. And the
Exactly.
mom think that because she's a student, she's still a child. No, ma'am. When your child turns 18, they are adults. And they are always responsible for their actions. But when they turn 18, it's a whole different ball game. And you should have had that conversation with your daughter a long, 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 long time ago. Long time ago.
Well,
About her body, about the law, about sex, about everything.
and
Not at the hospital.
whatever conversation they had, I guarantee did not incorporate when we get to the hospital. If a baby comes out of you, put it in the trash can.
Oh,
Now,
I bet.
Jody
Yeah.
said they gave me morphine during labor, and they did do a pregnancy test. That was one of the first things they did, because this nurse is saying we already had results back from the lab that she's pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and her water broke at home. What does that tell you? What her mom thinks you do, peed the bed?
No, the doc hadn't been in there to tell her yet.
Okay, so, okay.
Yeah, so went in there and I did look into the trash can at that time to see if there had been anything tossed, but the liner was fresh and completely empty. I didn't pick up the can, obviously I would have known. I just looked in the can and there was nothing in there. It was a fresh liner.
So there's no trash in the
There was
liner?
nothing in there, yeah.
Whoa, this is deception of a different level. Did you all hear what he said?
Brooks, will you go back? Oh,
Yeah.
Yes, please.
Listen to what he says.
So, okay.
Yeah, so went in there and I did look into the trash can at that time to see if there had been anything tossed, but the liner was fresh and completely empty. I didn't pick up the can, obviously I would have known. I just looked in the can and there was nothing in there. It was a fresh liner.
So there's no trash in the
There was
liner?
nothing in there, yeah.
Do you know if they keep fresh liners? Because I know some places they put
Yeah, there's usually
new
like a
liners
roll.
in the bottom of the
Yeah.
trash can, and then they put the liner in and
Exactly.
take the trash out.
Right, that way when they change it, they can just put a fresh one in. So yeah, there's usually a roll or a bunch of extra liners at the bottom of the trash.
So you said there was blood on the floor, and it looked like some parts of it looked like it had been
Right,
wiped
it looked
up.
like it had been wiped up.
Well, and you said on the wall. Was there any on the toilet?
I think there might have been some at the bottom of the toilet. I don't remember if there was some.
Because the baby hit the floor.
All right, and then
So
she,
my
so the doc
question
hadn't told her that
is
she
on
had
this.
Not yet.
It's
So,
like he saw that there was blood and that she was cleaning the floor, but yet the trash can was empty. Where all those paper towels were going? Was she flushing everything?
Yes, because they could hear a lot of flushing. There was a lot of blood. She said, sorry, I'm on my period. When you're on your period, it doesn't spray on the walls.
No, you don't have a sprayer.
No.
I hope not.
No.
Anyway, hey, Brooks, was there footprints in the hallway too? Did I hear that or not? Blood.
Said there was footprints. She went to the water fountain.
Whoa.
Beautiful Messy said she was still tracking blood in the hallway when she walked out, but she said, I'm on my period. They already had confirmation from the lab she was pregnant, and she had an ultrasound. They knew this girl was in labor.
I would love to see the mom's reaction and expression or whatever if the mom knew that there were bloody. And the mom is rolling with the period thing or back pain?
She couldn't be.
No.
She couldn't be. This is her daughter in November.
Jesus.
Here's her daughter. This is her.
Man, these people. Wow. It's they murdered an innocent life.
Oh, Kevin, it gets crazier. Wait until the other nurses start talking.
No, it can't get.
Oh, just wait.
because speaking with Vasquez, she said that, and don't quote me on this, but like y'all did a urine and then a blood.
Right, so typically they'll do a urine and that just tells you negative, positive, and then they do the blood. It kind of gives them a range of how far along.
So did the urine come back after as well, or so did all of it come back after she came back?
It probably all came back before.
Okay.
Before.
But the doctor would be the one to tell her.
Yeah, the doctor would be the one to go into the room and tell her. And after she came out of the restroom, that's when she went in to do a vaginal exam. Obviously, we didn't know what this blood was from. We were a little concerned that maybe she had, known that we were going to figure it out and that she might have harmed herself or something in the restroom. So the doc wanted to go check her, but obviously that wasn't the case.
And how long have you been working here?
Here, about 5 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So during your time, if someone were to pull the emergency cord in the, have you been here when somebody's pulled that?
Yeah. For
So
the restroom
somebody
specifically.
right. So if somebody pulled that cord, y'all would have known.
Oh yeah. The restrooms typically at every facility will give a different chime than a room, like a room call bell.
Right.
It's like more of an urgent chime, I guess I would say. Yeah, just so that way everyone knows it's not just your normal.
Right.
Okay, this is an important comment. Leandra, welcome to the channel, said no, the doctor hadn't told them yet. So they didn't know the results of the urine and the blood, and the ultrasound was after. So she had the baby after. We'll have to get to that.
And to your knowledge, that alarm never went off.
That alarm never went off.
Okay. So what occurred?
So after that, her and the patient went back to the room. The physician and a female nurse went in to do the vaginal exam just to make sure everything was good there. I believe, I wasn't in the room, but I believe that's when the doctor said, hey, your test came back positive for pregnancy. She adamantly denied it up to that point, even with me the entire time. She said she was a virgin. She's had her period every month consistently. So the doc was doing that.
Then you said that, and she told you that when you were
She
triaging.
told me that in triage,
Okay.
yeah, that she was a virgin and that she had her last pregnancy was just prior on that month. And had
You mean period?
Yeah,
You said pregnancy.
I'm sorry, yeah. Her.
So when they confront her with the results of her tests, as if you couldn't tell because look at this, she said no, she denied it. She said, I've had my period every month. I'm a virgin.
After the bathroom incident, she's still saying that she's a virgin. How effed up is that?
Well, they thought,
and that's when I questioned her relationship with her mom.
Exactly.
That's because 19 years old, you have a 2-year relationship with this boy. Come on, mom. What you were 18, 19, you know what this is about. So no, you're not innocent. I'm sorry. That's just stupid.
well, and not to mention, I mean, they thought she could have possibly had a miscarriage in there. They're not thinking this girl went in there and had a baby and put it in the trash. This is not common. This is not something that people see.
That's a great point, Brooks.
They thought maybe she had a miscarriage or she harmed herself, so they wanted to examine her.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So then I started doing my charting, and then we called in the housekeeper to clean the restroom. We call it like a terminal clean, just when it needs to be mopped and everything. And then she felt the weight in the wastebasket, and then that's when we found the baby and then moved it into the trauma room, trauma 2.
Did you find the baby? Did you see the baby?
I saw the baby
in the trash can, or
in the trash can. HT, he was there. He's another nurse, and Leela, she's the housekeeper. They initially found it, and I went over there and saw what they had.
And what exactly did you see when you looked in the trash can?
I think at that point they had already ripped the bag, but it was just laying, at the base of the trash can under the liner that they had pulled up. And there was like some paper towels in that bag with the baby. And then we moved it over and took it out, put it on the bed, on the stretcher.
So HT and Leela found it. You were, what made you go to them? Did they tell you something? Or did you just go?
I believe Leela basically called out for HT, I think, and then he went over there, and then I went over there as well.
Okay, you went to go see what happened?
Right, to see what, because typically if someone's calling out in the ER, it's not
bad.
Good. Yeah, it's usually not good.
Well, and you said you've been working here 5 years, so.
Yeah, I've been working here about 5 years.
So you already prepped for something bad?
Well, not necessarily like this. This is definitely unusual for us, but yeah, for bad stuff. If you hear someone kind of calling out, you always go check to see if they need help, basically.
And could you tell if the baby was alive or
they did not look alive?
It did look alive.
It looked but also I think the time had passed since she left the bathroom and it being in the bag, it was just.
How long do you think that was?
Maybe like 10 or 15 minutes. I just have a guess. I don't know.
Right. And after the doctor went in and told her she was pregnant, did you have any other contact with her after that?
With the patient?
Mm-hmm.
I might have went in to have her sign some paperwork, but that was probably we had to transfer her to OB care post. Okay.
Did you have any contact with the baby after that?
All we did, we brought the baby up. We called the doctor, obviously, out of the room from her exam, and we came in, kind of doc assessed the baby, and basically determined it was not viable to completely work the baby and all of that. So that was about the extent of it.
Okay. So and then your last contact was doing paperwork to transfer her out?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know of anybody else that would have had contact with her that we should talk to?
Marina Perez, she was the house supervisor. That's probably about it.
What did she do?
She came in and I don't exactly remember. She had a form of paperwork that she was helping fill out with.
Oh, so she's filling out paperwork.
Yeah, with the patient.
Did you see anything in the hallway? Any type of blood droplets or blood from the bathroom to the trauma room? Did you see anything?
I believe there was maybe from footprints or something. There might have been blood coming from the restroom back to her room.
It's like Nightmare on Elm Street.
We should know about that we haven't asked.
This is horrific, and I cannot take my eyes off of this case. Now, I know that there's going to be a medical malpractice suit on the hospital. Her attorney has already said he's going to do that. Have at it. The hospital did not put her baby in the trash can. They were ready for her to come out of the bathroom. They had someone coming with the key to get her out. They assumed it was a miscarriage. They knew she wasn't a virgin. What do you think, Mrs. O?
This is a complicated case for the hospital. He can go to the hospital all he wants, that lawyer. He can argue whatever he wants, that they gave her drugs, whatever they want. But the point of the matter is she knew she was pregnant. She went into that bathroom. She got rid of that baby. When he was alive, she could have called the nurse and said, look, this is what happened, without her mom even knowing. They would have helped her anonymously. Good to go. Nothing happened. She was an adult. And it was most hospitals are safe haven. So the kids are protected. This has many problems with this case because mom is treating her like a baby. No, she's not a kid. She's an adult.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to backtrack on my stupid comment. I think, when you really look at it, this girl is only 19 years old. She's a kid. She doesn't have the mind of an adult whatsoever. I doubt if she's going to go to jail, okay? But I strongly believe that the mom should be held accountable.
See, Kevin, this is where I think you and I disagree, because I think we as parents should not raise kids. We should raise adults because of these situations like this.
Right.
At 18, they go to college and they are going to be treated and they are going to be treated like adults. So we cannot be treating our kids like kids when they are 16, 17, 18. No, we need to start treating them like adults. That's why when they turn 19, 20, 21, adulting is so hard for them, because we have been treating them like kids and protecting them and speaking for them and doing everything for them. They have no skills whatsoever. Their social skill and emotional skills are shot. So that's why we need to help our kids to become adults, responsible adults, to live in society and to make good decisions. They know that just not knowing what right and wrong is. Make good decisions. And
These
that starts early on.
these
That
mis-
doesn't start at 18. That starts early on.
these mistakes, you're exactly right. These mistakes in parenting were made at age 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. You can't teach them to be an adult when they graduate high school
Absolutely not.
or getting ready to graduate high school.
Nope.
Step it up. Step it up.
Step it up because you're gonna be sending what yeah, she had the university and stuff like that. So you're gonna be sending, instead of sending an adult to college, you're gonna be sending a child to college. A child does not know what the world how the worlds work. So it is your job as a parent to make sure that your child or that child is an adult and that knows what adulting means, so they know how to behave in the world and make the right decisions.
Yep.
Girls and boys, I don't care, both of them. So they're not in this situation. And you need to keep those lines of communication open with your kids early on so they know when to come to you and not be afraid of you. So that's my
Right. So
opinion.
why didn't the girl go to her mom?
Because maybe they didn't have that type of relationship. Her mom was still treating her like
Exactly.
a kid. At 19, she said, but she's a student. And the police said, no, she's 19, she's an adult. But she's a
Right.
student. It does not matter. That matters at school. That doesn't matter in the world.
I agree with you 100%. You know, the girl knows right from wrong. Okay? Right. This 19-year-old definitely knew it was wrong to spit a baby out on a bathroom floor and throw it in the trash can. She's old enough to know that is not right. I agree with that. And then it's hard because I have kids, I have grandkids, and it's hard when they're that age because emotionally they're not an adult. I know some 40-year-olds that aren't adults, you know, but
I
she doesn't.
understand that. I
Yep.
understand that a frontal lobe does not develop
Right.
socially and emotionally until we
Right.
are about 25. I understand that. But we as parents have the responsibility to help our children develop that frontal lobe and that emotional and
Hmm.
social skills to work in the world. Otherwise, we're going to have kids in our house living until 28 because they're not developed or they are still not adults.
Yep.
What are we doing? We're not doing our kids any favors if we are treating them like that. That's why we start teaching our kids how to be responsible and making good choices. And so when they go to college, are 18, when they are adults, they start behaving as adults and making decisions as such. Not this.
Right.
This is stupid. This is irresponsible and reckless. I, however you look at it, however you look at this, is reckless and irresponsible.
Well, and I think we can all agree that it's not obviously kids are an issue, but the parents that we run across in these cases are the issue. They
Mm-hmm.
turn a blind eye to everything. You can't tell me she didn't know she wasn't pregnant. And then you talk about no accountability. You're about to go to jail for murder, but you go to the prom because you already bought the dress? Who cares?
Oh, hell no. That dress go back or I will donate it. And you're not going to prom. You're not going anywhere. Graduation, yeah, that diploma, you go get it the next day at school. You know. No, 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 no. No. You play stupid
But
games, you win stupid prizes. No.
you know, and I always go back to this, and maybe that look at what they're teaching the kids in school. Okay, this is 2023. It's like so, everything's acceptable now. It doesn't matter, you know. You're a boy. No, I'm a girl. No, you're a boy. I mean, everything is just so far out of whack. And I agree with you 100% about you should be held accountable for your actions. I agree with that 100%. It's just messed up. And I follow these cases all the time, and this maybe not this exact thing, but this kind of stuff happens constantly every day, where kids aren't being held accountable and parents are turning a blind eye, and it's sad,
It's
you
sad.
know.
And
It
these
is, yeah,
and
it
these
is
schools,
sad because they are putting the responsibility where they shouldn't be. They putting the responsibility on a school to teach your kids about life and sex and responsibility in their body and stuff like that, because they may feel uncomfortable of the culture or whatever not. No, it starts at home. You teach your kids at home about that. School may put a little bit of sprinkle of information, but you make sure that you teach your kids at home what's the real world and how it works. Don't let anybody else teach your kids about what's going on and how your body works on anybody else. You don't want your
Hmm.
anybody else to give your kids misinformation. Just give your kids the truth and give your kids what's real. Treat them
Right.
like adults, because this is what happened.
Oh,
This mom is
sorry.
like protecting her and is covering for her and is in denial when she perfectly knew that this kid was pregnant, and then is covering for her and trying to protect her, and she doesn't want her to be like misunderstood or judged or
Hmm.
whatever not. Ma'am, your daughter killed her baby.
well, and not
What
to
do you mean?
you have these schools that and I don't know where everybody lives, and I'm not getting into politics, but they're teaching these kids that like these babies aren't real humans or something. They're
Yep.
very detached from human life.
Yep.
Let's look at
Yep.
this real quick. Hang on.
Tell us your name.
My name is, I go by HT, but my name is Hugh Truman Halliday. I'm a licensed RN in the state of Oregon and a multi-state compact license throughout the United States.
And how long you been an RN?
10 years.
10 years. And you live here in Artesia?
I live in Hagerman.
You live in Hagerman?
Mhm.
Okay.
I've worked here. I've worked in Ruidoso. I've worked in Tucson at Northwest Medical Center, Oro Valley. They also have a standalone marina, standalone ER. And I also work at Bay City Area Hospital in Coos Bay, Oregon.
Wow. Okay.
So you've traveled. Mm-hmm. I was doing triage that night, and so we have three positions. We have 3 nurses, 3 positions. You have a triage nurse, and then we have 2 other nurses that take different rooms. Usually it's 1, 3, and 5, or 2, 4, and trauma 2. And then trauma 1 is one of those rooms where usually we don't have anything in there unless it's bad, and everybody kind of just is in there. So I was doing triage, and I was a charge nurse. It was a regular night. I remember she came in with back pain, and they had put her in. They were going to treat her in triage 1 with some regular medications for back pain. But after the doctor examined her, she was a little concerned, I think, because of her heart rate and some other things. So she wanted to move her into a room and do a more extensive workup, which is what they did. At that point, I don't really know anything because she's taken out, she's not really my patient.
Okay.
So I know that Chris had her. I know that he came to me and said there was some issues because they had ran a pregnancy test on her, and they found out she was pregnant. And she was adamant. The mother was in the room with her and was adamant that he was dying to.
Did you see that? Or did it was
No, Chris came to me and told me this was what was going on because we were having an issue.
Okay.
And he was worried about the mother, the dynamics between the mother and the daughter, because the daughter was completely denying she was pregnant, and the mother was relatively upset about that she was pregnant.
Okay.
So
you're talking about Chris Sanchez.
Chris Sanchez, yeah.
Okay.
And so I told him, well, as long as she behaves, okay, if it's gonna make her, he goes, yeah, she's okay. I think it's gonna be fine. So that's the last I heard of it. The next interaction I had was the tech, which was Lori Aragon, come and tell me, HT, you need to go to the bathroom. So I went to the bathroom. There was quite a bit of blood in there. So this was after she came out. She went to the bathroom, was in there for a long time. And Chris was telling me, she won't come out. So I told him you need to get the key because the bathroom's locked. And so he told her he was going to get the key. And so she came out, but there was some blood in there. So I went to Dr. Vakas and told her I was worried that she did something to herself physically in the bathroom. The way she reacted being pregnant and the things that I was being told.
How much blood was in the bathroom?
It was smeared around, so it's hard to tell exactly how much. But it was enough to cause me to have concern.
Okay.
I really thought she had done something physically to herself when she found out she was pregnant.
Question: when did she find out she was pregnant?
It was pretty early on because we did the urine first off. Any female that comes in with back pain, we do a urine right away because we're worried about a urinary tract infection. And with any female, when we do that, we always do a pregnancy test to make sure we don't give them medications that would contraindicate pregnancy.
Do you know who told her she was pregnant?
I believe Dr. Vasquez did. Okay. I believe. I don't know because I wasn't in the room for that because I wasn't involved with direct care. Okay. But I knew she knew fairly soon because we already were having an issue with the mother being upset about her being pregnant.
Prior to going to the bathroom?
Way prior. Because then they'd started an IV and then they started.
Woo!
Oh boy.
The mother was very upset prior to going to the bathroom that she was pregnant. Now, then the mother, when she hops back in the bed, is like, Lexi, don't you watch the news?
I want to know what was that conversation that she had with her daughter, because she said, we've talked about this. About what? Tell me what you told her. Mm-hmm. Yeah, about the girls that get pregnant and go to jail. I mean, how did that go? Because your girl didn't get it.
My goodness.
Yeah, and I know there's
because once you find out someone's pregnant, then you run another lab test to see how far along they are. Okay. So they started an IV and we're giving her some fluids. I guess I don't know exactly what they were doing. I wasn't involved with that kind of care. But I told Dr. Vasquez she definitely needs a vaginal exam. I'm concerned that she did something to herself. That was my concern. And they took her right into the room. And then I told Lori, call housekeeping. They got to come clean this up. Which time she called Leela, who was on call for housekeeping. Then I was just sitting there, and then the next thing, Lori comes and goes, HC, oh my God, you better come to the bathroom. I go in the bathroom, and she goes, something's in the trash can. I'm like, I looked in there, there's a clean liner. I'm like, what are you talking about? She goes, pick it up. I picked it, I could feel the weight. I knew then we had a serious problem. I just grabbed the trash can and went right across the hall into trauma 2. The liner was pulled out, but there was another trash bag in there in the bottom, but it was all it was rolled up. So I had to tear it apart. And then, of course, I saw the baby in there. So I pulled the baby out, got him on the bed, checked for signs of life. There was absolutely no life whatsoever. I immediately came out of there after I did that, went into the room where she was performing the vaginal exam, and I immediately told her, you have to come out now. And she came out, and we went into trauma 2, and she reassessed the baby. At that time, between me and Chris and her, we determined, there was no reason for us to begin any life saving. The baby was completely gone.
What did the bag look like?
The bag was the original trash bag that was in there. It had trash in it. When I pulled it out, it was spun where it was tied, and then it was folded underneath the baby in there. So it was like a little capsule the baby was in. So when I had to tear that bag open to see the baby in the.
Oh my goodness.
How traumatizing.
Wow. That's all I can say. I can't imagine seeing that. And Brooke, you said the baby weighed 7 pounds?
That's what I heard, but someone else said 4 pounds.
Well, it doesn't even matter. Them trash cans aren't that big. Are they? I've never seen a huge trash can.
These are the big tall ones.
Oh,
no,
okay.
they're like the 13 liter. They're like the 13 gallon ones. Mm-hmm. The small ones that you find at any restaurant, any restroom. Yeah.
Not like a regular bathroom trash can.
No, not the little
Wow.
ones. No, the little taller ones.
I was
Like
ready
the
to say.
13-gallon one, I think.
If you would
Wow,
look in
this
the,
is.
I looked in there. I was when she told me, so something I looked. I said, "What are you talking about?" Because there was a clean liner in the trash bag.
So basically, he was in the bottom, trash on top of him,
And then
and
another
a
clean liner had been put on top. Yeah, yeah. So then after that, after we determined we were not going to do any work on the baby, I shut the room down and I called. I said, "Call the police." And then I didn't let anybody. No one went back in that room. I made sure of that until the police arrived.
And you said, so with the blood in the restroom, you said it was like smeared. Can you describe where all it was smeared at?
On the floor, there was some on the toilet, there was some on the wall.
Do you remember which wall?
Well, there's the one wall that's by the toilet, that's closest to it, where there's a side rail, there was some blood there. There was quite a bit of smearing on the toilet itself. And then on the floor, it was just, smeared around.
Okay. What do you think that is from?
I thought she did something to herself physically.
Okay.
Because she found the interaction between her mother and her daughter was weird.
And so, but just to make sure, mother is patient's mother.
Yeah.
And then
Patient.
daughter is patient.
Yeah. So the daughter is the patient and the mother. The interaction between them after she found out she was pregnant, the way the daughter was reacting she was adamantly denying she was even pregnant. She was denying that she had sex.
And you heard her say that?
Yes, she was denying that openly. So
what did mom say when she said that?
Well, mom was upset. And the mom was saying, "I can't believe you. You know you can talk to me. You're supposed to talk to me about this stuff before you were having sex," all those kind of things. She was saying stuff like that, which is pretty common. I mean, this isn't an uncommon thing. I see young girls having sex and they've come in and they're pregnant, and then the mother is with them and find out, and it's upsetting to them. You know what I mean? So it wasn't uncommon. That happens.
Finding out your daughter's pregnant is not uncommon. Not the other incident. Not the.
No. I've never seen anything like that.
Okay, just want to make sure.
I've seen lots of young girls come in and find out they're pregnant, and then of course they deny it. It's not uncommon that they deny that. "No, mom, I haven't even been having sex." You know what I mean? That's a lot of them's initial reaction, because they feel like they're going to be in trouble. I guess I don't know what they're feeling, but that's not an uncommon reaction that I see with young girls. And their mothers, particularly with their mothers in there or father, that they'll deny that they've had sex. That's pretty common.
All right. And so you said it was Lori that called you. You went in, and the liner was still on.
Yeah, there was a clean liner on the top. That's why I was like, "What are you talking about?" And then she said, "Pick it up." And when I picked it up, it was heavy. I was like, "Holy shit!" You know what I mean? I knew right away. I knew. Then I just went straight to trauma 2 with the whole trash can. I just went across the hall and got broke the baby out.
So after you, Doc, and Chris, decided there was no resuscitation, what did y'all do after that? What did you do after that?
I made everybody leave the room, and I told Lori, "Call the police."
But then after that, anything else?
No, I didn't do anything until the police arrived, and they came and asked me what was going on, and I took them into the room and told them this is what happened, this is what we found, and I haven't talked to them yet.
Okay.
I haven't said anything to them.
So between
the officer arrived.
So from the time of declining resuscitation to officer involvement, you didn't have contact with patient or mother?
No.
Okay, just want to make sure.
No, I didn't go in the room till after the policeman showed up, and then I went in there to talk to the patient, and asked her why was the baby in the trash can.
And what did she say?
She said that it just came out of her and she didn't know what to do.
It just came out of her and she didn't know what to do. But then we saw the Inside Edition clip where she told her mother it wasn't breathing. Kevin, your device is not connected. It just came out of her and she didn't know what to do.
Don't believe that for a minute. She knew what to do. She wrapped it in the bag and put it on the trash bag and put another liner on top of it. She knew how to kill the baby.
Mm-hmm.
I love this nurse, though.
Oh. The trauma everybody went through that day.
I know. It's an understatement, but I love this nurse. The way the nurse, the doctors, all of them, the way they treated the lady who found the baby,
Mhm.
oh, my heart. They all rally around her and took care of her. That, oh, I cried
I
for
really
that
like
lawyer.
I really like this nurse. I like these detectives because,
Yeah.
you know, this is a this
You know what? This case, as far as I'm concerned, has already been investigated. Seriously, how can you even what? What? I don't know. What is there to plead
Defend.
not guilty about?
This lawyer may have had success in other cases. Um, I mean, defending and suing for malpractice and other stuff. But the videos and the evidence and all that is so
Damaging.
there. It's, yeah, damaging. And hers, after having the baby, still saying that she's a virgin
Right.
and what all she did with that baby, in it is just so. I don't think that lawyer has a chance. I'm sorry, no.
no, because they're going to see everything that we're seeing plus
Hmm.
they're going to have a medical examiner tell them that that baby was alive. They're going to say
Yeah,
that
and then they're gonna have
boy was alive.
the list of 20 people, 20 kids at school that knew it.
Yep.
I guarantee you.
Exactly.
And did she say it was breathing, not
Exactly.
breathing?
And I bet you
She just said
they're gonna
it came
call
out she
this
didn't know.
nurse, the doctor, that poor lady that found the baby. They're
And at
gonna
that
call
point,
all
did
of
mom
them to
say anything?
testify on this
Mom was
trial.
went kind of a little bit irate, like, "Oh my God, how could you, you know?" But I think the mother was in the assumption that it was a miscarriage, and I told her, "Ma'am, that is not the case. This is a full-term baby that was placed in the trash can." And then and that's when I told the mom, "Ma'am, if you can't control yourself, I'm gonna have to ask you to leave the room," because she's 19, she's an adult, right?
And what, did she calm down?
No, she actually left. She went outside.
And outside to like the waiting room?
To the waiting room, yeah.
Okay.
And then
You heard the detective go, because I told the mother, if you can't control yourself, you have to go. And she went out to the waiting room.
she came back in.
Once she calmed down.
Yeah, and then when she came back in, and then once I talked to the police officer and stuff, some of the family had started showing up. And she went back out there, and at that point, I told them, because the officers asked me to not let anybody in certain rooms, and so I told everybody, and I even went out there and addressed the family. I said, "I'm sorry, the police are here now. This is kind of an investigation thing. We need to find out what happened, and no one will be allowed back into the working area anymore." Right. And so I kept them in the waiting room.
Did they have any comments?
Not one.
Really?
I was really surprised. Not one person asked me about the baby, if it was alive, if it was dead, if it was a boy, if it was a girl. No one asked me anything. Not even she didn't even ask. No, she didn't ask. The only thing she started doing was crying and started talking about she didn't know what to do. Not one. I've never seen I've delivered multiple babies and I've seen multiple miscarriages, and I've never seen a reaction like that. And
boom.
I don't even know what to say about that. I've never seen anything like it in my life.
How would you describe the reaction?
I think there was no emotion except for herself. And she really wasn't even crying tears. She was just, and the only thing she was upset about was that I think she was going to be in trouble with her mother.
CYA.
Woo!
Whoa, snap.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, snap.
She was just more worried about being in trouble with her mother.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. That's why I questioned that relationship.
Boom.
That was her only concern, in my opinion. There was no concern for the baby. No one asked me any questions about the baby. Not even the family members, when I went out there and talked to them, did they say, normally people I would think, would say, was it a boy, a girl? You know, no one asked me one question about the baby at all. Not one.
The whole time.
The whole time. No one asked me anything about the baby's condition, if it was a boy or a girl, anything, nothing.
Okay. Did you have any interaction with her when she got? I know she was flown to Roswell. Did you have any interaction with her then?
Because when we looked at the baby, the umbilical cord was still completely attached. So then I had concerns about her health. When a baby comes out like that, we worry about the placenta being still attached, which causes the mother to bleed. Mm-hmm. So at that point, our concern was about her.
Right. And
getting her somewhere. Probably I envisioned that she probably was going to have what we call a DNC to get the rest of the placenta out of her to make sure she'd be okay. So I was in there explaining to her, this is what's going to happen. You know, we're going to have to fly you to Lovelace for you can see an obstetrician to take care of this stuff. So I explained what we were going to be doing with her at that point. But it was just basically, my job telling her, this is what I need to do to make sure you're safe and you are okay with that.
There was no more conversation about the baby.
I didn't have any conversations with her about the baby at that point. No. My only conversations with her were about what I needed to do to ensure her health.
And at that point, Mom still hadn't asked about the baby?
No, Mom was already out in the waiting room at that point. Okay. We didn't let her back in. But no, she didn't. Now, I know that I had because I had called the house supervisor to come down because this is a big deal. And I know that she kind of intervened on some things in the room. I don't know exactly what they talked about. Right. But I know that Marina was visibly upset about the conversation she had with her.
Yeah, we talked to her yesterday.
Right. So I don't know what their conversation was. I know that Marina was quite upset about the conversation they had. That's all I can say. As you can tell, right.
This guy is a witness to a crime. And sometimes our healthcare providers are put into situations they shouldn't have to be put into. When someone comes in from a drive-by shooting, domestic violence, situations like this, they have to talk to detectives. They have to be on point, on cue, and they have to soak it in what everybody around is doing.
Hey, Brooks, did I hear you right? Did I hear that guy right? He said that the umbilical cord was still attached to, he was worried about her because did she have the umbilical cord hanging out of her?
It was attached to the baby still, but not the placenta.
Oh, okay.
And so they were about that, so they life flighted her to another hospital to get her care.
Man, there's just no way. There's no way man, I would have loved to hear what the mom was saying.
Which was, after that point, my job was I had to get back. We still had patients coming in. I had ambulances coming in. I had 2 ambulances show up. I had more patients coming on the floor. I was down 3 beds because I had them coordinated off. So at that time, my attention turned to, I have to get everybody functioning.
Right.
Which, not only did I have to do that with the nurses to get them back, I had to pull the doctor aside and get her focused because she was visibly upset.
Right.
So that was my mind frame at that time, was I have to get these people back. We got to, we have sick people still. Can't do anything else. I mean, you sound cold, but that was my mindset, is I have, we had sick people and we had ambulances coming in, and I have to get these people back online. We have to get back to work. We have to function.
Right. Yeah, the ER still has to function.
I have to roll.
Okay.
Is there anything we haven't asked you think we should know?
I'm just going to tell you this. I've never, ever seen a reaction like that girl. I don't even know what to say about it. There was zero emotion. I don't even know what to say. I've never seen anything like it. I've seen women that are only married, or not married, but pregnant for 6 weeks, and they lose that baby, and they're a mess. You know what I mean? That girl went in that bathroom, made no sounds, at all, and the baby came out of her.
She made no sounds at all when the baby came out of her. He said, I see patients that are 4-6 weeks along that are a mess. She only was concerned about herself. Do you think all the flushing was from the paper towels or the placenta?
I don't know. I don't know what she was doing in there, but I know that the mom was just concerned whether her girl was a virgin or not, because that was the conversation. There was no conversation about the baby, whether the baby was nothing about the baby, whether it was just whether she was a virgin still or not. And it's like, what kind of mental space are you in? Your girl just had a baby in the bathroom, and you're still arguing about her virginity. She's not Virgin Mary. I'm sorry. Break it to you, but no, no.
No, she's not. No, she's not.
So mom needs to take a chill pill.
I don't even know how she functioned that way to do what she did and with no emotion. I've never seen anything like it.
And it was a pretty good sized baby. Pretty good size.
It looked term to me.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, it was term. I can't tell you that was, but the only thing that upsets me the most is I understand she was scared, and I think her mother had a big dynamic on her, and I understand that. I mean, I think her mother was probably pretty controlling. I don't know that. I'm just speculation. But she gave me no chance to save that baby. I had no chance, and that's not what I do. My job is to save lives, and I had no chance on that baby. She gave me no chance. And we are a facility that you can drop the baby off, no questions asked. You can just leave the baby and go. I don't care, as long as you bring the baby to a safe. We are one of those type of hospitals, so it's hard to fathom what was going on in her mind. I don't know. I've never seen anything.
Listen to him. He says, my job is to save lives. She never even gave me a chance to save the baby. Never even gave me a chance to save the baby.
That broke my heart. It made me mad at the same time because she was at a hospital. That's why I said we need to teach our kids to be adults because they need to make adult decisions. And I have an issue with her and her mom and all of that. It's 2023. She should have known, and she knows better. I'm pretty sure she goes on Snapchat, YouTube, Google everything in her life. I'm pretty sure she knew, and all her friends knew. And for this, there is no excuse. I'm sorry, but no. For no excuse for her mom, no excuse for her, no excuse for the boyfriend, no excuse for anybody. And for that lawyer to be blaming the hospital, really? Really? You have some guts.
Now, Dynamite, I don't understand what's going on here, hon, and we can agree to disagree. I believe our healthcare workers are heroes. They save lives daily. When you go to the hospital with a pain in your arm and they open up your chest and they fix your heart, those people are heroes. When you have a car accident and your head goes through the windshield and you go to the hospital and they put you back together, they are heroes. And they have to wear many different hats.
Yes, they do.
And they are put in positions. My
they didn't ask to be.
Is a doctor, and they have to deal with law enforcement. They have to look at things that we don't look at. So mannerisms of people in a room, these are important things. Kevin B is back. What's going on, Kevin B?
Well, you know what blows me away? Not one person in that family asked if the baby was alive. Wouldn't you go, well, is the baby dead?
The stepfather was the only one who said something about it.
Because they knew. What?
The stepfather was the only one who who said something, and he was thinking that was a stillborn. I don't know what the mom has said about it to him, but he thought it was a stillborn until the police explained to him that no, he was born alive, and they're gonna do an autopsy. So,
So he knew
but
she was pregnant then.
yeah, I mean,
Okay,
well,
there
I
you
don't know
go.
when they took the mom out of the room and they sent her to the waiting area with the boyfriend and the boyfriend's mom and the stepdad. The stepdad said so he was a stillborn. It's like what?
Mhm.
Didn't your wife
Uh-huh.
just explain to
It
you?
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. We don't put babies in the trash. We don't
Exactly.
wrap babies in trash bags. We don't put them away. We don't do that to dead puppies. We don't do that.
Nope.
No,
No,
I
but my question is why did the police explain to mom in that room what happened? And then she goes into the waiting area and the stepdad comes like, was he stillborn? Like she didn't explain to him what happened, or the boyfriend or the boyfriend's mom. Her
well,
concern was, am I taking her home? Is she gonna be home with me? Is she gonna be okay? And she's laughing. There is no laughing matter about this, ma'am. No.
No, I pray to God I never see it again. I mean, it's like, it was like, I don't even like TV shit. You know what I mean? Shit, you just, I don't even know what to say, man. It was crazy.
We appreciate what you do.
Oh,
SG. I know we've dealt with, we've done a lot of things together. I appreciate.
this is insane. This is insane. I believe the mom lied to him. I think she rallied the troops after she realized she was there alone. Did she honestly think, excuse me, did she really think they were going to get to the hospital and they were going to say, oh, no, that baby bump isn't a baby. You're right, mom. She's a virgin. You're right. Now, this is when the mom, and I'm going to play this all the way through, and we have more to go through, but we're not doing it today. Dynamite said all opinions are welcome, right? Yes, absolutely 100%. 100%. My opinion is that healthcare workers are heroes. When we had the AIDS epidemic, they put themselves in harm's way. When we had the bird flu, Ebola, COVID, our healthcare workers put themselves in harm's way to save us. That's my
Far as I'm concerned,
Yes,
the
they
cleaning
do.
lady and the doctors and all of them, they all should get a trophy. You know,
Every day. And we don't give them the credit that they
no,
deserve.
we don't.
They have put, and now these doctors and nurses are going to go into a courtroom, something that they didn't ask for, and they're going to have to testify on this case. That's not something that they asked for or that they went to school for or that they went to work for that day. And that is awful on them. I'm sorry, but no. No, that is unfair to these people, to the healthcare workers who have been saving our lives. I mean, from years and years ago. And no, no, I have no sympathy whatsoever, none for anybody.
Well, what's up with Dynamite? Why is she so mad?
I don't think she's mad. I just think she doesn't like this nurse. She said, I think this one healthcare worker was over.
Why?
Well, he's doing his job. I put the link up if she wants to come up.
Yeah, no doubt. That man is just doing his job.
It's easier to have a conversation than put stuff in chat. All right, look
Yep.
at this. I'm going to play this all the way through. I'm going to stop it in a couple places because I have to. But I want you to look at what the mom feels to be important. Okay?
Ms. Rodriguez? Yeah. At the hospital. You've been talking to my supervisor.
Yes,
Okay.
Sergeant Chris. Yes. Will it be you guys tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. I told him at 10 o'clock you could come over.
Okay.
Okay, you and your CYFD person.
Yes.
I'm better. It's
Okay.
just her, but you know.
So have you? Are you family?
Yes, this is her sister. This is
Okay.
my daughter.
I just don't want to talk about anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you thought about therapy for her?
Not yet, but I was gonna look into it. I was gonna look on the back of the insurance card. They told me there were some numbers on the back.
Yeah. So that's how you go through our.
Oh, okay.
Your insured providers. Just FYI, for us, we have PMS here in town. They're the ones that most people are insured through.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
if you want to do in town, we do PMS here, and then we
Okay.
have one in Carlsbad, 2 in Roswell,
Okay.
that are usually on all of everybody's insurance.
Okay. Did
Something to
you
think about.
hear about like HIPAA was broke and there's like a whole
How?
bunch of rumors out? Some
I heard there was
nurses-
rumors through
yeah.
the high school.
HIPAA was not broke. HIPAA was not broke because Lexi can tell anybody she wants that she had a baby and she was life flighted to another hospital. The boyfriend can tell whoever he wants. Also, there's a murder investigation going on. That's not HIPAA.
Yeah.
The nurses do talk.
HIPAA does not apply when there is a murder investigation, and that's what people need to understand.
But that shouldn't have happened.
It shouldn't
That's why
have.
it's HIPAA.
And
you
I know. Well, and because I was reading on that, and like on Facebook, everyone's doing all that stuff. Because we did do a disclosure, and that was through our person of contact. That's our PSU command supervisor. So he did do one. He didn't put any name in it or anything like that. And that's just something he did because he was being asked about it for so long.
Okay.
So that one was done, but then I hear like the high school's talking a lot.
Yeah. I had teachers message me and everything. So.
Really? So everyone already knows.
Yeah. That's a bad thing about a small town.
Yeah, that is the best thing about a small town.
It
But
is.
like I said, but more importantly, I talked to insurance
Yes,
about therapy.
yes. And I am going to keep her home for about a week. And I am going to look for like therapy for her.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to do all of that as much as I can today and tomorrow. So
Well, appreciate it.
Yeah.
At least you're actually a parent that cares.
I love my daughter. She's my everything. But yeah, you guys can come over tomorrow.
Okay.
She said, I love my daughter. She's my everything. Everyone knew this was not a surprise. This was not a surprise to anyone.
Be there.
We'll
It has
contact
a red roof.
We'll contact you before, make sure it's still okay.
Yeah.
We do that all just
Okay.
before, so that way you're not like forget about it. Some
Yeah.
people do.
No, I won't forget about it.
Okay.
We will be there.
Well, you have my number. The supervisor I'm
Yes.
talking to is Sergeant Perez. He's
Yes,
also
I've
you
been
have his
talking
number.
to him.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've been keeping in contact. So.
All right.
Yeah. Also, do you know like when anything about the autopsy, how fast?
We
nothing?
asked to expedite it. I still haven't heard a word back. So it did happen on Saturday, but from
Yeah.
speaking with Wiedemann, the OMI person assigned to the case, he said we're not hearing anything yet. So he told me as soon as we find out, or as he finds out, he'll let me find out.
Are we getting him back? Did you know? We are getting him
You
back, right?
you will, yes.
Okay.
And that's why I was telling y'all at the beginning that with like names, stuff like that, and then who you want like Turpin's and who do you want to do end of life care with.
Okay. When do you think would?
I don't know. That's not up to
When
me.
do you want? Okay. Okay.
So you know how so with it being tricky because technically you're not next to him, it'd be your daughter. Y'all would still be contacted with it because they'd have to find out where y'all want him to be transported to. Because some people pick them up from Albuquerque, because it's free of charge whenever they go from here to Albuquerque.
Okay.
And so it's free of charge coming back, but some people want to do, like with just other cases, they'll do it in Albuquerque because it's cheaper to cremate, stuff like that there. They have to get a hold of you first they have to get a hold of her first to let them know what they want to do next. So they'll get a hold of you as soon as they're done with him. I don't know what's taking so long. Usually they don't.
Okay. No, we haven't even really, we've tried to talk about that, but she didn't know. She don't know.
Well, in town we have Turpinning. Roswell has way more options for like mortician and stuff like that. Because you have to talk about, do you want to do cremation, do you want to do burial, stuff like that.
Okay.
And so that's because she is of age, so she'd be having to be the one to sign off on everything.
Because like, and I don't know y'all's financial situation, but y'all guys may be able to pay for it, but she still has to be the one to sign off and stuff with how that goes. Because with OMI and stuff like that, it has to be who's immediately next. Okay, so it's one of those that they will get a hold of her, and with that, something you and her would talk about what you guys want to do, and him,
Yes.
and keep that involved.
Okay.
But it's one of those things you always all have to mesh out.
Yeah. Okay. We will do that.
All right, we'll get
But thank you so much.
get a hold of you tomorrow. Make
Okay.
sure. All right.
Sounds good.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you,
see
ma'am.
This exchange makes me sick. You know HIPAA was violated. You think the HIPAA police? You think the HIPAA police are going to go and do anything? They have a murder investigation going on. They have a murder investigation.
You know what? And she knows it. And she's more concerned about the popo than she is anything else. It's obvious. That lady, man, I have nothing good to say about her. Sorry.
Well, she's also concerned about the public knowing. She thought they were going to keep this under wraps and nobody would know. Are we going to get him back? Are we going to get him back? And he said, yeah. And he explains how it's going to be free coming back from Albuquerque. And there's really no concern for this baby that was suffocated in the trash can. Nothing like that. My daughter is my everything.
Does she understand that her daughter is her princess and her everything, but not everybody else's? And that all of those records are public records, and they're not gonna keep a secret because it's her daughter and it's her everything. No, lady, she is a citizen like everybody else, and those records are gonna be public. So yeah, consequences again, consequences.
Hey, Brooks, I got to tap out, but I wanted to say bye to everybody and thank you, Brooks, for letting me discuss this case. Thank you so much.
Anytime, Kevin B.
Thank you, Kevin.
Let's give a round of applause to Kevin B. It was good to talk to him. Thank you, Kevin, for coming up. All right. And again, we are going to do another show on Tuesday, I believe, about this because there's a lot to go through. Now, she was on birth control, which I'm just going to assume her mother would know about. Okay. And I know there's a lot of so-called virgins that take birth control to regulate their cycles, but she stopped taking them to start taking weight loss drugs. Now, I don't know why. She can't take them both together because I'm not a doctor. It's one thing after another. It's lie upon lie upon lie upon denial. When a baby comes out of you, you don't put it in the trash. That's it. It's no more complicated than that for right this second. We will get into more stuff. Don't get me wrong. All right, so this is when they went to arrest her.
Oh, the mom's attitude. Oh my God.
We're seeing new video tonight showing the moments an Artesia teen was arrested for killing her baby by hiding him in a hospital trash can just minutes after he was born. News 13's Annalisa Pardo has a look at this new video.
In May, officers and detectives showed up to the home of Artesia 19-year-old Alexee Trevizo. Her mother opened the door, demanding answers.
I'll bring her out. Just tell me what's going on.
There's a warrant for her arrest.
Okay, for what?
I will give it to her whenever.
Can I see a warrant?
The back and forth went on for some time before officers disclose.
Homicide. Open count of homicide. And tampering with evidence.
Tampering with evidence?
Yeah.
At the hospital?
Police say in January, Trevizo had a baby in a hospital bathroom and tied him in a trash bag before hiding him in the trash can, killing the baby. The hospital custodian found the infant in the bloody bathroom.
So when I picked it up, I realized that it was like a little heavier than it would be with just toilet paper and a trash bag in there. So I looked in there, and that's when I called Lori and told her that I think there's babies in there.
At the time, Trevizo and her mom said they didn't know she was pregnant.
I didn't know. I honestly didn't know she was pregnant. I didn't know.
As did her boyfriend.
How long have y'all been together?
Almost 2 years.
2 years? Okay. So I'm not trying to be rude, but you are more than likely would be the father? Okay.
When police came to arrest Trevizo months later, her mom gave law enforcement a warning.
You bet when this is over, I'm coming for the police department and the hospital. I am.
And made a plea.
Please don't be rough with her, please.
Eventually, the teen comes out.
Hi. What's your name?
Alexee.
Okay. What's the last 4 of your social?
She don't even know it.
Trevizo gets cuffed and booked, charged with first-degree murder. Annalisa Pardo, KRQE, News 13.
Wow. So even when they come to arrest her for murder, because by this time they have the autopsy back, they know what's up, they know what's going on. The mom is still giving them hell, saying, I'm going to come after the police department and the hospital. The hospital didn't put the baby in the trash. The police didn't.
Mind you, the baby situation was in January. They arrested her in May. And she's still worried, and she's still saying that evidence in the hospital, tampering with evidence in the hospital, murder. It's like, where have you been?
Yeah, this mother is something else. Something else. This is crazy, Mrs. O.
It is crazy. It is crazy. And it's going back to where I'm saying, it's like we need to teach just the same way that we prepare our kids for preschool, kindergarten, high school, all of that, SATs, all of that. We need to prepare our kids for adulthood. Otherwise, we are sending children into the world unprepared. And then we don't understand and we don't know what they made, the choices that they make, because we didn't teach them how to be adults. We need to raise adults. We don't need to be raising kids. We need to raise adults so they can make good decisions.
Seems to me that the mother is very entitled herself.
Oh, yes.
And they don't seem to think that the life of this little baby boy is worth anything. They want to say it's the hospital's fault. That's what they want to say. The hospital did not lock themselves in the bathroom, have a baby, wrap it in a trash bag, put it in a trash can, and put another trash bag over it and jump in the bed and say, oh, look, see, I told you I wasn't pregnant.
No accountability whatsoever. None.
None.
And
Well,
she's still asking, don't be rough with her. Be gentle, ma'am. She's your everything. She's not anybody else's everything. She's not everybody else's princess. She's your princess, not everybody else's. To the world, she's a citizen. That's it. And that's what they need. That's what she needs to understand. And that's why we may miss. That's where we go wrong as parents. That we think that we are raising princesses and princes, and they're gonna be the best, and everybody's gonna treat them the same. And it's wrong, because it's not that way. The world does not work that way. The police is not gonna treat you that way. Other people are not gonna treat you that way. We need to be making sure that these kids are. I mean, this world is too dangerous right now. Too dangerous, too woke, too many things. We need to start teaching our kids at home to be responsible and to be cognizant of what's going on. And that falls on us, not anybody else. It's not the school's responsibility. It's not the friend's responsibility. Nobody else is good. They're not going to give her the right information. That falls onto us. So that's where we fail sometimes, when we don't teach our kids. I mean, when we don't treat our kids or prepare our kids for the world, and then we send them to college, we are sending children to college, not adults. Then when they make mistakes like this or bigger mistakes, and then we want to revert to, but they are children. No, ma'am. No, they're not. they are adults. So we need to start evaluating how we view our kids and the world that we're living right now, because it's not a pretty world, it's not a safe world, and we need to prepare our kids for that.
100%. Let's give a round of applause to Mrs. O for coming up and talking this morning. You're welcome up anytime. I'm going to do another show about Alexee on Tuesday.
Welcome up if you allow me to. I love you so much. Thank you, chat. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Kevin.
You're the best. So thank you.
Love you. Bye.
Mwah. Great job, Mrs. O. Great job, Jinbug. Great job, Kevin B. And I agree with Mrs. O. You can't train them to be adults when they're graduating high school. You have to start that earlier. Of course, all of us in here know that. My children were adult enough at 18 to go to the military or go to college. No problem. My parents prided themselves on telling me, you don't get your way. You're not special. They used to enjoy that shit. You all know what I'm talking about if you're a Gen Xer. Our parents loved telling us, you're a tick on a dog's ass. Anyway, we had a lot of new people in here today, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Don't forget, we are live every day, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Central. Keep your reminders on, because you never know when we're going to do a members live or a second show. We have a second channel you can check out. I'm just very happy all of you were here, because I know this is a tough subject, but we got through it and it was great. And this is the best community, the best chat, the best mods on these streets. You guys have a great rest of your day. Keep your reminders on, because I think we're going to be doing a show about harmony with Amy in Boston tomorrow. We have a Father's Day members only live on Sunday. My husband is going to be hosting. We're going to have Shannon, Georgia Peach, and her husband on as well. We have some trivia and a lot of stuff going on. You guys be blessed. Thank you for the gift memberships. Thank you for the donations. And I will see you soon.